Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about the 2011 Japan earthquake, or more specifically known as the 2011 Tohoku earthquake. The earthquake happened in March 11th, 2011. This was measured to be a magnitude 9 earthquake, which is extremely powerful. It took place in the Tohoku region, which is the northeastern district of Japan, to the Kanto region, which is the area around Tokyo. So a bit more background information. The earthquake occurred in a subduction zone known as the Japan Trench. The islands of Japan are situated above the junction of four tectonic plates: the Pacific Plate, North American Plate, Eurasia Plate, and Philippine Plate. Honshu, Japan's main island, lies at the intersection between the Eurasian, Philippine, and North American plates. The oceanic crust at the Pacific Plate is converging on the Eurasian and Philippine Plate and is subducting beneath the continental crust of Japan. As these plates converge and jostle for position at the boundaries, stress builds up along the moving plate boundaries. The release of this stress causes the earthquakes in Japan. For this particular situation, Tohoku's earthquake was caused when the North American Plate converged with the Pacific Plate, which forced the Pacific Plate, which is a thinner plate, down into the Earth's asthenosphere. Pressure created by the collision of the two plates forced the rocks along the Japan Trench to break rapidly, which released the energy and created the seismic waves which caused the ground to shake. The earthquake caused huge repercussions. It managed to trigger a 39-meter high tsunami which hit northern Honshu, causing devastation to people, buildings, all the way to the Fukushima nuclear power station. The result was 15,890 deaths, with 2,590 people missing and 6,152 injuries in 12 Japanese prefectures. The total damage cost was about $200 billion, which was known to be the costliest natural disaster. In addition, the earthquake also caused huge environmental destruction. Coastal areas, including tidal flats, seagrass beds, and forests, were devastated. Before the earthquake, Rikuzen Takata, a city in the Iwata Prefecture, had a celebrated pine forest, but due to the destruction of the earthquake, it left nothing behind but a single pine tree. A tidal flat known as Gamow is said to be no longer brackish because of seawater flows that came after the quake. The earthquake caused damage to ecological services of the oceans. Industries such as fisheries and marine aquaculture, as well as the livelihood of people around the vicinity, depend on them. An example are erosion control forests that have been planted by human beings in expectation of the ecological services provided by these forests, such as protection against tidal surges and sandstorms. Because of the earthquake, it has been destroyed, which has significant consequences for farmers who work in the paddy and dry fields. The earthquake managed to dramatically affect the lithosphere. It was so large that it moved the northeast coast of Japan up by up to 4 meters. Coastline also subsided by about 0.5 meters. Earthquakes of this size result in the formation of pseudotectonites, which are fine-grained glassy rocks that form during frictional melting. It could also provide evidence of earthquakes for future generations. Thanks to the earthquake, Japan has invested heavily in coastal protection and new buildings. Groups of scientists and city builders would often revisit evacuation protocols. People now take earthquake notices way more seriously. Before the earthquake happened, people would more or less dismiss notices since they believed that they would not really affect them that much. There's also a tension against the government due to the fact that after the evacuation, people were paranoid that the government was withholding secret information that was vital to protecting them. Whether or not that's true, it still raises tension between the people of Tohoku and their government. This is the fourth largest earthquake in the world, and the largest in Japan since instrumental recordings began in 1900. The earthquake generated the deadliest tsunami since the 2004 magnitude 9.1 northern Sumatra earthquake, and tsunami caused nearly 230,000 deaths and $10 billion in damage. This is the most devastating earthquake to occur in Japan since the 1995 Kobe earthquake that caused over 5,500 deaths, and the deadliest tsunami since the 1993 Hokkaido earthquake, which generated a tsunami that was responsible for over 200 deaths.